Hello and welcome to this episode of R for Data Analysis with the Warrior Analytics. Today we continue with learning our basics of R programming. Previously we looked at reserved words, variable names, data types, data structures, and operators in R. So today we are going to look at functions in R. Look at the built-in versus user-defined, and also we look at the input versus output functions in R. As usual, we use one of the scripts in our folder called R tutorials. Inside this R tutorials, there is a subfolder called R tutorial files. So inside it, we are going to use file number 7, functions in R. This is session number 7. If you've not yet downloaded this folder, there is a link in the description of this video where you can download this folder and have access to all the course files. If you can't download it right now, still you can follow through and try whatever we are doing on your computer. Still you will not get lost. So I will start by opening that file. Go to File, Open File. I locate my folder in R tutorials and R tutorial files. I look for functions in R, which is session number 7. I click on it and then open. So we shall have our script open. I can close the other empty one and then we are good to go. Let me clear the console from the previous episode. Functions are simply a block of code designed to perform a specific task. Think of it like a machine which you put there something, the function processes it and gives you the result. We are going to look at types of functions in two perspectives. First, from the perspective of built-in versus user-defined functions. Then we are also going to look at it from the perspective of input versus output functions in R. So when we talk of inbuilt functions, these are functions that come ready-made with R. So they help you to perform these common tasks without requiring you to write any code from scratch. Built-in functions include functions like the sum. You want to get the mean, the square root, the length of a certain element, or you want to paste. So these are already installed in R. You do not need to write these codes from scratch. When you write sum and you put in arguments, R already knows what to do. Let us use an example to demonstrate this. We are going to create a variable height for our 3 participants, and this is these are the heights: 165, 170, and 180. So when we just put in, let me first Control Enter. I've created the object. It is numeric 1 to 3. These are the values. If I want to get the total of this, I would have gone for 165 plus 170 plus 180. Control Enter, I'll get 515. But instead of going through all these, R already has a function that calculates the sum. Once I just create the variable and then I use the sum function and I put in the argument or the variable that I want to get sum for, Control Enter, then I'll get the same value. So this is a function that is helping me to get the total without starting from scratch. The same thing, if I want to get the mean, instead of getting all of these, for example, divide by 3 and then enter. To get 171.67, I could just say the mean of heights. I'll get the same value. So these are functions to make life easier. I'll get the length of this variable height. So I have got 3 values inside it. There's another function called paste, where you want to paste these 2 words together. Maybe paste patient and a number. So I'll just put paste, put in the arguments, and it will be pasted together as one single word. There are many built-in functions in R, but now I guess you have an understanding of what a function is and what a built-in function is. Let us look at what we call user-defined functions. Okay, sometimes you need to customize a function for your own routine work. For example, maybe you calculate BMI on a daily basis or routinely, but you're tired of every time writing the formula BMI is equal to weight over height divided by 100. You're converting into meters, maybe squared, something like that. No, you can create your own function in R. To create a function in R, we use the function. Hope that makes sense. I'm meaning this. So to create a function in R, we use the function. The way I would say the mean function. This is a function. So this is syntax, the word function. Then we put the arguments inside. So we are saying we are creating a function for these arguments, weight and height. Okay. Then we enter and put what to do with these arguments inside. So inside here, we create a new variable called BMI. Are you seeing the assignment operator? It is telling you you're creating a variable or an object. So you're creating an object called BMI, which is equal to weight over height over 100 squared. Okay. Then after that, again you enter, you tell R, return BMI. So every time you put in this function here, calculate BMI, and then you put in arguments. R already knows what to do with the first figure and what to do with the second value. So this function will calculate for you the BMI using this formula. So this is a user-defined function. You have created yourself a function, Control Enter, and then you call the function to do for you the work. You get 24.22. So if I put here, calculate BMI, you can see that they are suggesting for me the full name, and they are showing me it is in the global environment. Okay, global environment, this is what they are meaning. So previously we had values, we had data frames. Now even functions you create will be in this environment. Okay, so we have the function there. I've called it, and the moment I put there maybe values, I have 80 and then 160. Okay, enter, and it will calculate for me the BMI. I've defined my own function. As you become familiar with R, you will be able to create your own functions to accomplish specific tasks. Having an understanding of user-defined functions will help you to understand why we need packages, the whole concept of packages in R. When I was learning R, I would keep asking myself, but why would I even go for a program where someone has designed it, but still I need to keep getting packages to enable me accomplish something? Little did I know that actually that is where the power of R lies. You do not need to always build things from scratch. Someone somewhere has built for you a code that works efficiently for a particular task. So it is just a matter of go download it, install it, utilize it. Next, we can look at input and output functions. Let us look at functions from the perspective of those that feed into R and those that display. So we shall start by the input functions. And in these input functions, there are two. We have the readLine function, which reads a single line of text, and we have a scan function, which reads multiple values, usually numeric or character. So let us look at input versus output functions. Input functions, these are the ones that feed into R, whereas output functions, they print out for you, or they output contents of what R has done. Although the layout I had designed to start with input functions, but allow me to start with the output functions. We have two output functions. We have the print function, which displays output in a standard format, and we also have the cut function, which is used for combining and printing text. Here is an example. You're creating a variable called x, which is the mean of a concatenation of the following values. You have the following values. Okay, this is a vector. You've used this function to create a vector, and then apply a mean to that vector, and whatever you get, you're creating an object from it. You have x here, and you want to print x. So x will come out. It will be printed there. That is an output function. Maybe you want to print heights. Just come here, you say print. If you want to print any object in your environment, so I can print heights. Okay, Control Enter, and it will print for me all the values in heights. You can even print any word you want. Print or analytics. Sorry, I didn't close the quotes. Okay, enter. R will do that for you. It is outputting what you are inputting. So this would have been actually under print here, so that I don't confuse you. The second output function is cut, which is used for combining and printing text. Print just prints the way something is. But for cut, you can give a piece of text that should be pasted before some other value. For example, here, yes, we have x. Is that if we say print x, it will just print 15. But when we want to combine a text with 15, we use the cut function. So cut, then inside we put the text that we want to be printed together with x. So I'll just run this, and then it will print the average age is 15. You have all ever probably encountered this. Maybe you're logging into some page online, you put in your name, and then the second window opens, hello world. So it is printing out with input from what you entered. So those are output functions. Now, what are the input functions? I didn't want to start with input because I was going to use the cut function before introducing it. So input functions in R feed information into R for subsequent use. Previously, we've been creating a variable the way we are creating, for example, for x, and we input everything for x. Here, we can use a readline function to prompt us to feed in something before we go to the next step. For example, I want to capture someone's name. I'll just say, I'm creating a variable called name, but the contents of that variable will be entered by the user using the readline function. So once I put in readline and then enter your name, this is the text that will be displayed for me to ask me to write my name. Let us just run this. My name is a variable we are creating, but you have to read from my keyboard. Okay, someone has to input from the keyboard, and you can put for them a guide of what it should look like. So when I enter this, notice from my console, there is enter your name. Okay, I'll just write Owori. Then when I press enter, then it will capture that variable name is Owori. So if I didn't put anything here, maybe read line, enter, and then it will just come here and prompt me to enter something. But there will be nothing to show me that I'm needed to enter something there. Okay, so I can just enter there 10. Enter, and then my name will be 10. That's why when you're using the read line function, you can kind of put some instruction. Enter this, and it will ask you, enter your score. Enter your score, maybe I write 70. Okay, enter this, then it will be captured. If it is a name, I want to capture name. So the instruction should be very clear. Enter your name. Enter your name. Enter this, then I will know, oh, I need to enter my name, Owori. Again, I enter, then it will be captured this side. So that is the read line function. It just reads a single line of text. But if you want to read several, maybe you want to capture the names of participants, so you don't know how many names will they be, so you use the scan function. This reads multiple values, usually numeric or character. So if I want to capture ages of participants, I'm creating a variable age which should scan values from what will be entered. So I will use the scan function. So once I control enter, then you will see that it will start numbering. So I'll put here maybe 10, enter, there is 20, enter, there is 27, enter, and maybe 80, enter. After capturing all the data or the ages of the participants, maybe they were 4, there is no other. So in the empty space, I just click enter again. So it will tell me it has read 4 items, and you'll find all of the 4 items in here. So that's how a scan function works. It reads multiple values at once. If you found this video useful, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss out any of our subsequent episodes. So far we've covered several basics of R programming. So next we are going to look at conditional statements in R, where we shall look at the if else, the nested and iterative statements in R. See you in the next video.